Hi, welcome to another video. I'm Nan Ross from nandellross.com. Today's video is how to alter your past for a brand new reality. Or should I say, time traveling. You can do that now. What if I told you you can travel to your past and altered a memory or experience to create a brand new reality that's going to go into effect right now? Would you believe me? This is not science fiction. Remember the movie The Butterfly Effect? The first one. Well, if you don't, well, let me give you a recap. So there's a character, his name is Evan, who suffered some blackouts during some traumatic events that happened during his childhood. No one could figure out what was going on. So his doctor kind of encouraged him to start journaling to regain back some of his lost memories. So he gets a little bit older, he's in college, and he goes and reads through the journal. But he actually figured out how to travel back in time and altered some events that happened. Now, I know you're saying, Nan, it's just a movie. Okay, that's correct. It is a fictitious storyline. However, the theory is not fiction. Well, according to new quantum physics, there is a theory called retrocausality, also known as backwards causation. It is a cause and effect theory that states an effect can happen before its cause. So, in other words, a decision made in the present can influence something in the past. So in this cosmos, there are multiple universes. So every action that we take creates a parallel frame. And this new parallel frame leads to an alternate path or another parallel universe, which is other universe that looks just like ours, but they are different or have already existed. For example, there's a universe out there where you're a millionaire. Or maybe a Hollywood actor. Maybe New York doesn't even exist. So why is this so important? Well, we can change our present and future just by altering the perception of a past experience or memory. Now, this is very difficult for many to understand. So if you don't, I get it. Because we all think in linear time, or we have this lateral thinking pattern. We actually think everything moves in one direction. But based on quantum physics, and of course Einstein agreed, the past, present, and future, which is time, does not exist. Time is just an illusion. So when we go back and change our thoughts, our emotions, we are actually influencing what we experience at this very moment, which is also known as the now or the present. So, how can we change the past? When we change our perception of our memories, the consequences will approach and will appear in the present moment. So, recalling a memory using your sensory perception, using your sight, your smell, your taste, and things that you hear, and then you imagine a totally different outcome. What happens is it manipulates our consciousness, which results in synchronicity that occurs in the present, and of course, in the future, as the frames start to merge. Here's an example. Let's say someone was a domestic violence victim in their past. Now that traumatic experience, when you recall that, can trigger some very strong emotion, such as hate, anger, fear. And if we don't heal from that past experience, it will continue to haunt us energetically in our present and also our future. So let's just say this domestic violence victim recalls this past memory, but instead of feeling and going back and feeling vulnerable or abused, you change the outcome, like you kicking that person's ass and you ran away. This is a brand new outcome. And when you have a brand new outcome, it creates a new neural pathway for that memory. So after a couple of times rehearsing this brand new outcome, that person's emotions will begin to shift from being very strong to something a little bit softened, meaning that person's emotional trigger actually reduced. So instead of feeling that hatred towards that person, that victim will begin to feel like a conqueror or a warrior, that they was able to make it out. And now they can start to feel forgiveness. And how we feel right now will affect our future. So when we remove resentment or hatred towards someone and even forgive them, that emotional blockage is then released. And now you begin to raise your vibration. That's where you can manifest. So by changing the memories of the past, we are also changing how other people perceive that past experience or memory. Remember, we all connected. So back to the butterfly effect. So Evan travels back in time to alter an outcome that had affected or had an effect on the consciousness of his friends and family. Now there's a part where he travels back to stop an accident from happening that actually led to a death from a woman and her baby. And also the emotional turmoil of his friends after seeing and experiencing that event. Now when you change your perception of the past, and usually it involves someone else, so you are changing everything else that's associated with your past, which also includes the people around you and your environment. This is a very, very powerful concept. So let's go back to the domestic violence victim. So as that person changed the outcome, the abuser consciousness will actually begin to shift and change. So instead of the abuser playing that whole victim role, because most of them do, by saying, it's the victim's fault, that's the reason why I hit he or she, or hit that person. Now the abuser hardened emotion would change to remorse. They will begin to feel like they've been defeated when those memories come back. Now this is not a tit for tat scenario. The main purpose of doing this technique and testing this theory is for healing, so you can be able to raise your vibration. So remember, whatever energy you put out there in the universe is going to affect not only the other person, but yourself. So before you come up with the outcome, remember the law of karma, okay? So if you want to stop any repetitive patterns, if you want to heal from past painful memories, you want to create a whole new reality for manifestation, this is a great theory to test, to learn, because it works. So that is my take on how to alter your past for a new reality. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Oh, don't forget and hit the subscribe button somewhere for more limitless mind and energy healing techniques. Until the next video, namaste. Peace.